Welcome to this very special edition of the KJ Masterclass Live, the show which ensures that you profit from your time spent here with experts, either through their industry insights, information, or simply learning from them. And today we have with us Joanna Blair, successful international artist, celebrated for her exquisite figurative paintings that explore themes of inner beauty, growth, and transformation. Her work empowers women to embrace new beginnings with strength and grace. And we learn from her how she transformed her cancer and life challenges into a thriving art career and deeper personal purpose. Welcome to the show, Joanna.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, Ajay. I'm really looking forward to talking with you.
You are welcome. Welcome to the show, Joanna. Welcome to India in this online form. And I'm sure not just in India, but a lot of people across the globe will benefit from what we are going to talk right now. We'll learn from you how one can create powerfully, rise authentically, and heal boldly. We'll learn all this from you. But before that, let's learn a bit about your journey, your background, so that the audience knows who they are listening to.
Yes, thank you. Well, my background, I've been painting. I knew I wanted to paint when I was about 5. That's when it really hit me. So I was really young, and from there, right through my primary school years, I was painting nonstop, and I think my parents basically ignored it because most kids love art. I applied for art school when I was 12 and got accepted. And then when they found out I was 12, that was the end of that. I was too young to get into school, into art school. So I sort of went in and out of painting for a while. And my background, my upbringing rather, is very much get a qualification, do the tried and the true, all of that kind of stuff. And that art, yes, that's a nice thing that you're doing, but you'll never earn an income from it, was kind of really the message that I was getting, both from at school and probably family wise as well. So went and did nursing, and then I had enough of that, and still painting on and off, looking for a creative outlet. And I ended up becoming a makeup artist out of a love of art, not a love of makeup. But I did makeup for a long time. And I think that calling, when you have it, it's always there. It sort of rises up and rises and sort of goes back down, but it was always there to paint. And then in 2014, just out of the blue, I got an email from London asking me to submit 5 of my paintings, and they accepted 2 of them into the London Biennale. And from there, the international side of my art just took off. I was doing 4 international shows a year, running between makeup clients and shows and my easel and airports. And I started a makeup school way back before then, so running between all of that as well. So when the pandemic hit, it was actually a big relief for me just to stop. But yeah, but my art is my true love, and that's what I do full time now.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, how did it all, you rebuilt your life after all the things that you talked about? Because you need a lot of motivation, you need a lot of support. How was it? So that, people who are listening to you can get some sort of, guidance idea from your life.
Honestly, AJ, I would say, in a lot of ways, I would say keep your dreams to yourself, especially when they're very young, like very new dreams, or because a lot of people mean well, but you'll often get advised to, yeah, that's a great idea, but you need to be able to earn a living, and all the reasons why it won't work. And people mean well, but it can really kill your dreams very quickly. So I would say when you have an idea, or something's really speaking to you, let it grow within you and explore it, and don't be frightened to try things and research it and have a go at it. And if you fall over, that's okay. Just get back up and have another go at it from a different angle. And I think that being true to yourself takes a lot of courage, especially when those around you are really saying, yeah, but this, that, and the other. And it's very easy to think, yeah, okay, yeah, no, it wouldn't work, or no, this, that, and the other. And time goes by so quickly. And before you know it, you're sort of well down the track in a job that really is just a means to an end to you. And all the time you're thinking, I would love to do blah, blah, but I'm not game enough to try it, or I don't think I'd be good at it, or anything like that. So my thing would be trust that feeling when you can feel it in your gut or in your chest, and it excites you to think about it, even if you feel scared about it. If you feel excited but scared, that's fine. You're on the right build. You've got your ladder on the right building when that happens, I think. And just go for it.
Absolutely, absolutely. But in terms of, you see, when you have to build your art business, it's not an easy thing. So, how did you think of building a art business? One is, okay, you have a problem, then you start building something, look at survival rather than, building something. I want to understand from your journey, how did you get this whole idea of building a business around art? Because earlier one can just think, okay, I will be a makeup artist. Beyond that, I will just look at, how best I can be. But building a business around art is a different thing. How did that work out for you?
Honestly, AJ, I think it's mindset, because I think if you treat something like a hobby, it will cost you like a hobby. If you treat it like a business, it will pay you like a business. So for me, yes, the painting, but it has to tell a story. It needs to have a message. It needs to be, in my opinion anyway, compelling and mean something. I think that's when it reaches out to people. And um, the work also is, particularly I've gone down the road of not having a gallery or anything like that, so completely self-represented and completely in control of the whole thing, which I personally prefer. That way I have direct connection to my collectors. I know who they are, and I've got control of what I exhibit, what the pricing is, all of that sort of thing. And the work then is like the social media, the website, getting back to people, and that's the entrepreneurial side of it as well. If you're really serious about, regardless of whether it's art or anything else that you're doing, you can't be half-hearted at it. You can't go along for a bit and then think, oh, I'm busy, I'm doing this, that, and that. You can't do that. You've got to give it 100%. And I feel like when you do that, the energy around it starts gathering and you start to get momentum, and it's almost like the universe is like, okay, I can see you're serious, I'm going to help you. Kind of feels like that to me. But when you're sort of in it and then you're out of it, in it, then you're out of it, it'll just go sideways, forwards and backwards, forwards and backwards. You want to keep pushing that train forward on its tracks, and that's the work, I think.
Absolutely. In terms of, uh, surviving such a difficult thing called cancer, how did that change your worldview as well as your art? Because people can get either, very cynical also, plus look at things much more on a not on a very concrete basis. But how did you look at it?
Yeah, it was a bolt out of the blue. I really didn't expect it. I was shocked when they told me I had it. And I must say, from the moment that I was sat down and told in the doctor's room that, yes, it's cancer, to walking out to the car to go home from that appointment, I just had instant clarity. It was literally like my whole runway in front of me had just been cleared of all the debris, all the excuses, everything I was dragging my feet on. And I was like, okay, if I'm potentially on borrowed time, and we're all on borrowed time, but more borrowed than I realize, I thought, what is it I want to do with myself? What am I doing with my art? What am I wanting to say? What's my message? What's my purpose, and what gives me joy? What are the things that really bring me joy? And it really gave me that straight away. And I think even in terms of relationships and things like that, suddenly you start looking at your time in a completely different way. I did, who's worth my time, who isn't. In previous, when I was younger, I was, the queen of people pleasing. um, you quickly learn, don't do that. Yeah, so it was, in a lot of ways, I would say, a gift, because it really did smarten up my ideas, get me on the straight and narrow and think, right, focus. What are you doing?
Absolutely, absolutely. So, what would you want to tell women, and especially, for women, female artists, what are the challenges that they face? What are the challenges that you faced? How did you overcome those? That is where a lot of advice can be helpful. especially for women artists?
Yeah, I think number one, just remember that art is really subjective. One person will look at your artwork and think it is the most beautiful thing they've ever seen, and it just speaks to them and they just want it. And the next person standing next to them could look at it and think it's the worst thing they've ever seen. They couldn't care less about it. So I would say just remember that it's subjective, and just remember that when you're being authentic to you and putting down on your canvas what is authentic to you, you will attract the right crowd to yourself just through, because at one stage I started painting to the market as well. That's a big mistake, where a certain style that you're doing or a narrative is selling really well, so you just keep on doing it even though you're over it, you've had enough of it. It's kind of had its day with you, but you keep doing it because that's selling, and you end up kind of, those golden handcuffs. You keep doing it because that's what's earning the money, and so I would say don't do that. Keep true to yourself, keep putting your work out there. Yeah, just keep showing up. Just keep showing up, AJ, and keep doing the work. It just, sometimes I look at somebody like J.K. Rowling, Harry Potter author, and how many times she was rejected by publishers. And I can't even imagine, I think it was something like 12 publishers. And I thought, even by the 10th publisher saying to her, no, you've got nothing, we're not interested, thanks anyway. And her friends and family were probably saying to her at the time, oh, look, Joanne, just keep on with your 9 to 5, just write when you feel like it. And this is what I was told as well, just paint when you feel like it. And look, she could never in a million years have imagined what lay ahead for her in her future. And I mean, I know her success is phenomenal and certainly extreme with where she got to. But you don't know what lies ahead. And I think that thing of just don't give up. Don't give up. You don't know. You could be on the cusp of that breakthrough, and you don't want to be almost through that invisible ceiling that you can't see. And then you go, oh, it's not working. Oh, I'm just going to go back to my job. And you were 10 seconds from, really getting through that and becoming successful and getting traction and doing really well. So, yeah.
Absolutely. What about, you talk about, embracing, especially for women, embracing new beginnings with strength and grace. How do you get it when you are in a very difficult situation? What would you like to tell them? There must be some reservoir from where you can bring out all these things. But when times are difficult, Joanna, it's very difficult to find this. What would be your advice? What would be your experience that you would want to share about this?
Yeah, for sure, Jay. I would say you've got two ways of looking at something. You can either have lemons or you can have lemonade. Choose. If you're going to see the negative, then you will see the negative till you're blue in the face, which is why when you look at the nightly news, why it's all negative, because it gets your attention. Or you can see the positive. Look for the opportunities. The last series that I just closed at the end of this month was called When One Door Closes, Another One Opens. And it was all about something that came out of the blue that you didn't expect and feels really awful at the time, or really distressing, and you can't believe it's happened to you. But then when you come out the other side of it, you've actually come out so much better off, because of that awful thing happening, another door has opened that wouldn't have opened without that door closing. And I always think there's always that, like, look for that door that's going to open for you. Look for that. Sometimes I think things need to be disassembled, almost like, energetically, things are disassembled to allow the new thing in. The new thing can't come in while you're still on the old thing. So the old thing has to go, which can often feel horrible, to let the new thing in. So always look for the new thing. It's always there. It's just whether you have the mindset to see it. It can be right under your nose, but if you're determined to see the negative, you will never see the positive. You've got to look for the positive.
Absolutely, absolutely. Joanna, tell us a bit about your work. How should people understand your work? Where can they find your work?
Yes. My website is joannablairartist.com. So all my work is on there. I only release my work in very limited Windows 4-day releases about 3 times a year. So after the close, nothing is available. The prints will never be released again from that series either. My email subscribers have early access before the public to my series, the prints and the originals. So that's on my website or Instagram. I'm on Instagram as Joanna Blair Artist. That's another good way of finding me as well.
Absolutely. So, in a nutshell, Joanna, what is it that you would want to tell, especially women, about your journey, about how they can, look through these difficult times and walk away victorious? What is it that you would want to tell them as a key message of yours?
I would say you can do it. You've got the strength within you. Just don't be afraid. Keep putting one foot in front of the other. Keep on going. Listen to your heart. Listen to what brings you joy, because that's the path lighting up for you. That's your inner being, so to speak, saying to you, come this way, come this way. When you have that feeling, like, trust yourself and don't give up. If you fall down, that's okay. Everyone falls down. The most successful people in the world are the ones that have failed the most. Get back up. Fall down 100 times, get up 101 times. Don't give up on yourself. You'd be amazed at what lies ahead for you and what you're capable of doing if you would just give yourself the chance and look for the positive. Don't worry about the negative. Don't worry about the naysayers.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's much to learn about all these things. And I'm sure a lot of people would want to connect with you. Joanna, you talked about your website, but if you can, even at the cost of repeating, tell about your website, what is the best way for them to connect with you?
Probably Instagram. Outside of that, on social media, be Instagram, Joanna Blair Artist. I'm on Instagram there, so I post fairly regularly, and I'm contactable through Instagram as well as my website. Yep.
Wonderful. With this, it's a wrap on this very special edition of the KJ Masterclass Live. Thank you so much indeed for joining us.
Thank you.